Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Contessa here with your daily dose of nonsense on the web. First and foremost, buckle in because this is unfortunately a longer video. This is probably one of the longest videos I will ever do because there's a lot of information that we needed to go over, and being able to intertwine three different streams from three different dates that really prove what's going on in the story of Marvon McCray. If you are new to this case, we are discussing Marvon McCray, a 29-year-old Marine veteran from Yuma, Arizona. Marvon McCray is unfortunately currently in a coma due to an incident on May 23rd, 2022, where it is alleged in a police report that he attempted to unalive himself. Marvon is the husband of social media influencer Dre McCray. Dre has a significantly large following on social media, so instantly the story blew up. One thing that has been consistent throughout this entire case, no matter which angle you're looking at, there has been so much confusion because of misinformation. That is why we are on part 10 of Misinformation Cronies. By the time I'm finished with this series, it'll probably be like part 5,000. I really hope not, but because of the continual nonstop spread of misinformation that they are doing still to this day, we have so much content to go back over and try to figure out the honest truth and facts in Marvon's story. But let's go ahead and get into what we're going to be talking about in this video. We are going to be going over, like I said in the beginning, three different streams from three different dates. The dates are as follows. We are going to be going over a stream from July 26th, 2022, August 8th, 2022, and September 1st, 2022. Now remember, Marvon's incident was May 23rd, 2022. The main stream that we will be talking about is the one for September 1st, 2022. She had a lot to say and supposedly was providing proof of some legal documents. So we're going to get into that. But in order to break things down with information that we do know at this point in time, we are going to intertwine the video from July 26th and also the video from August 8th. And yes, for everybody that's been messaging me and asking me, I will do a reaction to Unirock's conversation with Molly and Justin after this video. But it might take me a little while. I'm trying to still enjoy my weekend and be a mom at the same time. And once again, this content does fall under the fair use guidelines, and it is my opinion and my opinion only expressed in this video based on their own actions displayed in their content. And once again, I always want to provide a trigger warning. There is some triggering conversation in the upcoming videos. With that being said, let's jump into this mess.
And my mother is going to tap on his shoulder and say, if you don't get my daughter my car, it's going to be some problems.
All right, I'm live right now, Wynette. Can I give you a call back?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll be on the first channel, the main Molly Golightly channel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you want to listen, you're welcome. Justin, if you're not busy, I will drop a link. And if, what's her name's in here? LB. All right, we're going to set the record straight right now.
As I mentioned, we are starting off with her stream from September 1st, 2022. She is initially talking to Wynette, the stepmother of Marvon McCray. Wynette is the wife to Marvon Jackson Sr., the biologic father of Marvon McCray. Once again, my condolences go out to Wynette and her family. She just recently lost her mother, so please keep her family in your prayers. As you can tell, it doesn't really seem like Wynette knew that Molly had hit that live button quite yet, but she quickly gets off and hangs up the phone. The last time we had heard from Wynette was when Molly herself was in Chicago on her little staycation. Wynette had came live and actually called Dre on the phone. But we will be getting into that further on. Let's continue.
Okay, so I'm addressing this, and I really hope that Dre McCray is watching this right now. I really do. Hey, Justin. This is just craziness. All this shit that Dre is doing, it's absolutely ridiculous. So, you guys, the update is Dre McCray is going as dirty as she can possibly get. she's going lower and lower and lower. She's making it so that not only, you right, Justin? You're right, all right. Keep it like that. She's making it so that it looks even more suspicious. You think that this whole thing isn't suspicious? It gets even worse, okay?
I want to know what exactly Dre is doing at the current time to look more suspicious. Because Dre's off social media. So, what exactly is she doing that is causing more suspicion or making things so much worse? Because she responded to Wynette and not what you guys anticipated or wanted to hear? That makes no sense. But again, constantly putting blame on other people. It's everybody else's fault.
Me and Justin have been quiet for a hot minute, but guess
I would say you've been everything but quiet.
what? Now you've got all three of them pissed off, okay? Dre McCray is now trying to make sure that not only does the father and Lynette not get to see him, but she's trying to make it so that Miss Leticia can't go see him either.
So now she starts to put blame on Dre that this is the reason why Leticia and Marvon Sr. and Wynette cannot see Marvon is because of Dre's doings. But let's continue because that gets clarified pretty fast.
They believe,
Wow.
yes, they believe that all of this stems from Katie.
I don't understand how we are already placing blame on everybody else. It's everybody else constantly.
That there's all these rumors that people are pressing charges, investigating.
Well, I can be the first to tell you that those aren't rumors. Those are actual facts that people have been trying to get across to you. That there are serious issues within this story, and you continue to pass things off as drama or overshadow the bigger issues with this drama.
Wynette and even Leticia, she said it to you too. Leticia said, I want them to investigate. I want them to fucking investigate. Me too. Exactly. I'm waiting for them to come to this door and knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and be like, here's my phone, here's my bank statement, take whatever you need. That's my social security. You're the cops, do it.
But if you remember in the previous video from September 1st that we did, she stated in that video that Leticia had no knowledge of this, that she was shocked.
People, okay? Listen, this all stemmed from Katie being hung up on.
Actually, as far as what I've been covering and things that we've been exposing, not a single bit of it has come from Katie.
And then what she did was cause a huge tsunami, is what she did. A huge tsunami of putting doubt into people's heads, trying to convince them that this was some sort of scam.
She did not cause the tsunami. The family themselves caused this tsunami on social media. The family. Nobody else but the family.
Stay around, Chrissy.
You know what? Chrissy, how about you go take a long walk over short pier?
And this is who the family has continued to align themselves with, is a creator that speaks to people like that.
You know what? You're not going to throw me off of what I'm talking about because you got your head up her skirt. Go away. Not for nothing.
If she can keep the hate focused on that certain creator, she can try to overshadow all the facts that the rest of us are using.
But we're sitting here because we're trying to help the actual victim and his family. All right?
Please explain to me in detail what you have done to help Marvon McCray. Explain in detail how exactly you have done anything to help him or his family.
Exactly. Wasting police and taxpayers' resources. No. It gets bigger. The Susia is demanding to see my bank account statements.
Who was that?
The Susia. This girl. She runs a stupid thing where she's exposing me in fraud. So she's so gross. She said she called the cops because I got the picture of her with her son. This is her. I know everything about her. Okay? Dre's little minions. Now.
Molly, please show proof that anybody demanded to see your bank accounts. You're accusing her of doing this. So please show the proof that she demanded this from you.
What one of the parents believes is that Dre may be talking to Katie through her little subs.
Do you honestly think that if Katie has direct communication or through a third party with Dre, that she's not going to be telling that story? She's a content creator. She covers stories.
Her little followers, they believe that's what's happening. So I'm going to tell you about yourself, Dre. You caused a lot of suspicion.
Your little followers believe that's what's happening and are trying to pass that narrative off because you can't understand that there's a lot of people unrelated that have major issues with the details that you're pushing off as facts.
Somebody said a comment which was very, very interesting. And they said, hey, Marissa, Don't you think that it would have been easier if that the family could have been seeing it if you and Justin weren't talking about it all the time? I said, oh, no. This is.
Do you think for 1 second she is about to let this cash cow go? She is going to ride this wave as long as she absolutely can. That is why they are continuing to fundraise and donate to the family, because in essence, it's almost like paying for content, paying for an open line of communication, if you want to call it that. And trust me, this is far from.
And it was awful.
I think most people would have had a similar reaction, considering they have had all of this time to reach out and they didn't. They waited until they were live streaming this for an audience to reach out.
Basically, she says, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
You would think that she would want like peace.
I have it. It's right here. Miss Molly, thank you so much. We're talking about calling you, blah, I'm a special place for you in my heart. Okay. So Miss Wynette decided to call up Dre to ask for permission to know where he's at.
We all just thought, it was streamed live for an audience. Yeah.
Okay. That's all she did.
Of course, there's a lot more she's not telling her following.
And you know how now this is going to blow the roof off a lot of people. But guess what? Dre wanted this in writing. And I'm going to show you what she sent to Miss Wynette. Miss Wynette.
She says, I'm going to show you, and briefly flashes her screen. Again, these are the best screenshots we got of that conversation. And of course, she has done nothing to show this conversation.
I'm quite surprised to just now hear from you since your visit in Tucson.
I'm quite surprised to just now hear from you since your visit in Tucson. Meaning, Dre is stating to Wynette, you haven't contacted me since you left the VA hospital.
Your actions or lack thereof lead me to believe that my apology wasn't accepted since there has not been any form of communication or inquiries from you or your husband on how Marvon is doing.
And again, listen to what Dre is saying to Wynette. You haven't reached out and even attempted to contact me to find out how Marvon is doing. This wasn't a shut line of communication. They just didn't use it.
That's wrong. That is not true. She was being ignored.
And Molly tells her following. No, that's not true. She was being ignored. But if you go back and look at the live, Wynette's comment states that she hadn't tried to reach out to Dre since she left the hospital.
The voicemail was Roz's voice.
And yes, the voicemail was Roz's voice. We've heard that same voicemail recording when Molly herself called Dre numerous times. It was her that they were calling.
So it says, she goes on and Dre says, I always encourage communication with both you and Marvon Sr. as I did with Leticia.
So many times, well, Dre did this. Dre said that. She wouldn't answer questions. She wouldn't do that. So let's listen to what Dre actually said.
Is in a coma, and I really would like to talk to you about my son. I know we don't have the best relationship, but I'm very concerned about my child. Don't my this, my that. Don't. Please, I'm begging you to call me so I can at least see my son. Thank you again, and I hope you find it in your heart to allow this to happen. I can't. 3 different minds. My son, my child, my son, 3 times repeated, and I still said yes, because I am not going to prevent that type of relationship from happening. I hope you find it in your heart. Do you think I hold a grudge against you? I don't even think about you.
Dre is reading off the first text message from Leticia Bias to her. Yes, Dre might not have been happy about things that she said, but she states, I'm going to allow that relationship. Then you see her first text message with them. You see it quickly goes south when Dre says, because of all of these precautions, XYZ, we're going to limit his visitors to only 1. If you want to read these text messages, you can absolutely pause to read. There's a lot.
Even after Leticia put Marvon's safety at risk when she publicly shared his location, I still made arrangements with her personally. That is not true. She never told anyone where he was publicly.
And this is the text messages where Wynette tells Leticia that they moved Marvon. Then you will see that Leticia herself was the one to put this information on social media. And this.
Select Medical, it's Brian. How can I help you?
Hey, Brian. How you doing? My name is Leticia Bias, and I was wondering, do you have my son at your hospital. His name is Marvon McCray.
What was the last name?
McCray, MCCRAY.
And what relation are you?
I'm his mother.
Unfortunately, we're not allowed to give out any information on him.
At all, even because I came to Tucson to see him.
At all. You got to talk to his wife.
Okay. And there's no way like anyone else I can maybe speak to?
Nope, she is the only one that we're allowed to give information to.
Even with me visiting him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
So not only had they called Dre's text messages blackmail, then they released the text messages, then released the facility, purposely gave that recording to creators to release.
That wasn't her. That wasn't her.
Again, look at the screenshot, Molly. It was her that released this information. She's the one that posted this. She's also the same one that gave the recording to creators.
She didn't tell a soul.
No, she didn't tell us.
No.
Why would she have told you about this? This was done before you started covering the case. She initially released that on July 5th. You didn't start covering the case until July 6th. The other recording was released July 7th.
Marvon's safety at risk. When she publicly shared his location, I still made arrangements with her personally.
And releasing his location absolutely did put his safety at risk because creators and other people have been asking.
It really does. Before I ever heard of Dre McCray, the video was already out where Dre records herself in that stupid wig looking like a lunatic at the VA saying, no, I need security. I want security. That was already out.
And this is the video she is talking about.
Are you the nurse?
No.
Okay.
I found number in Tucson. Was it up here for the visit?
Absolutely not. No. In fact, we need to call security.
Hold on. I'm the daddy, and this is my wife. How do you mean I can't see my son?
Most of you have seen this video a million times. Yes, that's just a tiny little clip of it. But you hear Dre state, we need to call security. And even though the video is sped up, she still was a little bit caught off guard. You could see it in the expression of her face. Marvon Sr. states, hold up, I'm his dad. This is my wife. Everybody saw, or should have been able to see, that Dre was confused. She thought that was Marvon's biologic mother, Leticia Bias. Marvon, however, was adopted, and people right here didn't realize that either. And just for purpose of clarification, in case anybody is new to this, Marvon Sr. is the biologic father of Marvon McCray. His wife is Wynette Jackson. Wynette is his wife. Leticia Bias is Marvon's biologic mother. Marvon Sr. and Leticia were never married. They were both young.
You guys just didn't see it because in the Justice for Fun group, they were looking for a YouTuber to help and put this out there.
And of course, we all know that the people from Justice for Vaughn had a direct connection to Molly. Tony herself had reached out to Molly. Gigi herself has been live with Molly. We know this.
Oh, but now it's not okay. Now it's not okay because Katie Joy got hung up on.
This has nothing to do with that specific creator. Nothing that we have covered on this channel has anything to do with that creator or has came from that creator. It's ridiculous.
Well, guess what? Obama didn't hang up on you. Yeah, you can't get any content out of Obama because he's a private person, right? Got it. So you got a chip on your shoulder. And the thing is I'm going to say this. Katie keeps saying, I'm working with Dre's ex-husband. What does that mean by working? Because me and Justin are not working for Leticia or Wynette. We're just trying to help them. We're not working for them.
Talk about a chip on their shoulder. You won't even say his name. You keep calling him Obama because you're mad about him working with somebody else. How does that make sense? You're mad because he wouldn't work with you either. Hello?
Choose your words wisely, please. And this investigation? Are you kidding me? They had a fundraiser up before I ever came into the picture.
If you have opened your ears at all, we have all stated that fundraising started before you came into the picture. We are all aware of that. Things were being asked for before you came into this story.
So now Dre's pissed off and saying, all right, do you really want to know what she's saying? Because I'll freaking tell you what she's doing. If you think I won't do it, I will.
I don't think anybody's shocked by the things that you will tell your audience. I don't think anybody is shocked about that. What people are shocked by, well, not anymore, but is that you don't verify anything you say. Nothing has proof behind it.
All right. I'll show you. So let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Dre, did you tell Miss Wynette that you don't have a lawyer?
And how many times have we heard them talk about Dre having an attorney? Yet over on this channel, we have continually said we cannot verify if Dre does or does not have an attorney. But if she's stating to Wynette herself that she does not have an attorney, then that's what I'm inclined to believe. And this is screenshots when she flashes the phone to the camera. This is the best of the conversation that we could really get in slow time. Of course, she doesn't make sure that you can really read it yourself. So you're kind of left with, do I believe part of this? Do I not?
Yes. Now, did you also say that there was no lawyer for Leticia? I'm just gonna ask. Did you say that, Andrea?
My question is, does she have 1, 2, or 3 attorneys? Because I know we've heard that she had 1. Then we heard that she had 2. Now we're hearing that Dre is saying that she doesn't have an attorney.
The day like 2 days ago, or the night before, I get it. So on last week, Miss Wynette tried to reach out to her.
Let's put some dates into perspective. Wynette Jackson tried to reach out to Dre on August 29th. That was streamed live. You'll see right here.
Justin, I'm gonna try to call Dre now while y'all on live.
Okay. She said she's going to try to call Dre now.
So this was when Molly was in Chicago. Justin is the one streaming. This live is still up on his page from August 29th. Just wait, and we'll get into it.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We don't need to hear that conversation.
Yeah, if she answers, just mute it. Or just hang up on us or something.
Yeah.
If she...
I would just tell us, say, we really want to go out there and see him.
This is the first time that Wynette had attempted to contact Dre since they left the hospital in June.
Hi, Dre. This is Marvon and Lynette calling. I just wanted to give us a call back. To the voicemail and left a message.
You could hear the voicemail pick up because she was on speakerphone and this was being streamed live. Now remember, Wynette and Marvon Sr. returned to Georgia from their visit in Arizona about the 28th of June. They have not made any attempt to contact Dre to find out how Marvon was even doing until August 29th. And it was done on live. Hold up.
Yeah, we can go, but where is he going to? There's no direction. There's no point of destination. There's nothing. Like no one's communicating with him. That must be stressful. And the thing is it is very factual that I contacted Miss Leticia and said that, Marvon Sr. wants to go back out there. Will you be able to tell him? She answered where he's at because they moved him from the VA hospital. Now remember, you have to keep in mind that Mr. Marvon Sr. and Miss Wynette got to see Marvon at the VA hospital. They overrode whatever demands Dre was making at that particular moment. Now, Mr. Marvon Sr. and Wynette do not have a lawyer. Leticia does. So the other day, I did contact Miss Leticia and I said, Miss Leticia, is there any way you can either tell them where Marvon is, or I can, you can go through me, and I will swear I won't say anything. And she said she needed to contact that lawyer to make sure it wasn't a breach.
of the agreement.
Right.
I don't understand how it could be a breach if I'm the father, because I know when I was there, I told everything that was going on with our son. I told her everything. A breach ain't got nothing to do with the mother and the father, so I don't know what kind of breach is that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's also, she could also lose. I mean, you have every right to know where your son is, but she also doesn't want to, I guess, get in trouble with her attorney as well. So it's
Yes.
it's a fine, it's a fine rope. You gotta walk, and it's not fair, and it's crazy. Go ahead,
First of
Elle.
all, Spanky, sit on down because you have nothing and should have said nothing to Marvon Sr. right there. Marvon Sr. and Wynette went to Arizona to visit Marvon on their own. They made that trip happen without social media or fundraising by anybody on social media. Marvon Sr. prioritized his son and made that trip happen. The VA didn't override anything. It's their policy. That's why it happened. He was allowed to see them. They didn't continue to keep in contact with Dre after Dre reached out and apologized because it upset Leticia. Leticia got mad because Wynette and Marvon Sr. were keeping her in the loop. They told her that Marvon was being moved from the VA. They were giving her the information, but she got upset because Wynette was doing that. And because Leticia was upset with Wynette, that communication between Wynette and Dre ended. She didn't want them to continue to communicate with Dre. So then she waits until she's live with Molly and Justin and finally reaches out to Dre after how long of not even asking anything for updates on Marvon? And I don't blame Wynette in this situation at all. Wynette has said many times she is the stepmom and is trying to respect the biologic father and the biologic mother. Wynette, in my opinion, has handled things very well, considering she's between a rock and a hard place. I do think she has had plenty of time to correct things and separate herself from these problematic creators. Marvon Sr. says, I don't see how it could be a breach. If they were fundraising for legal assistance for the family, then why wouldn't this attorney be representing all of them? Lawyers and other people have been asking questions about what happened to Marvon. So people were very emotionally charged up already about this case.
I do not have a lawyer, as I do not have a lawyer.
I've said all along that it cannot be confirmed whether Dre has an attorney or not, because at this present moment, there has been no charges filed on anyone and also no paperwork in regards to anything besides the kids.
Or was contacted by anyone representing her. Here she is, flipping the script.
She's not flipping the script. What does it benefit her by saying that she was not contacted by anyone representing Leticia? What does that do?
She's trying to make it, and it makes sense. You guys, well, the idiots, are assuming that Leticia at this point still doesn't have a lawyer and that she pocketed the money. That's not.
Well, how many lawyers does she have? Because you've said numerous different things, numerous different times. We've also not seen any paperwork filed.
And we can prove it. So I'm going to go. She says, I made the arrangements with her personally as I do not have a lawyer. Why?
Oh, I guess this is the big fit throwing that she's doing, because didn't she herself confirm that Dre had lawyered up and that's why she was being silent on social media? Does anybody else remember that?
So quiet then, Dre. Why are you lying? Why are you going to sit here and say that you don't have legal representation? Because we have the paperwork. Do you think that we are stupid people?
Shout out to Kool-Aid for grabbing this clip coming up. But you'll see that this is the paperwork Molly briefly shows a glimpse of. There is no case number on any of this.
Impossible! The fucking lawyer exists!
Wow.
Boom! This is an official court document. Boom! Right here. Attorney for petitioner, Leticia Bias. Boom.
There you
There
go.
you go.
And again, I find it very interesting that that paperwork does not have a case number still, because you'll see this is a text message from Leticia to Brittany, who was the first to be helping Leticia with the attorney stuff and the paperwork. On the 15th, she says that the attorney filed yesterday. So that would have been, the paperwork would have been filed July 14th. By now, September 2nd, we should see this.
Of course
she has an attorney.
And again, I still do not know if Dre is represented by an attorney or not. She might be, but what does that matter if she is or isn't? I don't understand what that proves.
So, however, this is not the information I was told she is sharing. She never gave the location.
You're delusional.
I guess we all must be delusional too, because I'm pretty sure we just saw where Leticia herself gave that information out.
Then she goes on to say the lies and showy display on social media that you, Marvon, and Leticia have participated in by sharing false information, private information, and disgusting false accusation has further fueled the disdain that, in capital letters, strangers have for me and has continually put me and our children in danger. Girl, you're fine. Calm down.
But all of this has done exactly what she said. Their behaviors and what they have put out to social media has fueled a fire, and a dangerous one at that.
Take some K and sit the fuck down.
If anybody needs to do that and take your advice, it's you. Because you have been throwing a fit since July 12th, when other people started questioning your motives and questioning Leticia, because she told people that she had enough for an attorney back then.
She goes on and says, you are now asking to visit with the wrong people behind you, with the wrong intentions. Okay, the wrong people behind them, it would be me and Justin, right? Oh, you don't like it that we showed your videos. You don't like it that we helped them.
Many people don't like how you've been treating this family and this situation. You have done nothing but cause further issues for everybody, because you don't want anybody to know what's really going on, do you, Molly?
Raise money to go see their son. That is their son. You may be the wife, but that's still their son.
Legally, Marvon was adopted.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
You just said it. His wife.
Their blood.
You are being funded by the people who hate me and are intent to destroy me.
I'll drop these same text messages over on my Facebook page after this if you want to see them up close. Also, Down the Rabbit Hole, Rabbit did a video on the paparazzi side of things. I suggest you go check it out because she goes more into depth in these text messages. Again, Down the Rabbit Hole News. These are messages from the admin's group chat with Justice for Vaughn. You know, the very group that was set up for Justice for Vaughn. This is the very group that Leticia herself has aligned herself with. The very group that Molly has aligned herself with. The very group that does have a very personal vendetta against Dre. You can read all about that in these text messages. There is a lot of backstory. But yes, these people were hell-bent on destroying Dre, no matter what the cost of that destruction would be. Every single one of them had a motive involved. All of these people have become opportunists. Every single one of them. And it's really sad. And this is also the very group that had been contacting CPS in regards to Dre's children. You know, Leticia Bias's grandchildren. And you would think, having personal experience with this type of situation, that she would know that that could be dangerous for her grandchildren. And or why would strangers be doing this? Because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So if you were that concerned, why aren't you doing it yourself instead of having strangers on the internet that don't know you or your family represent and speak for you and your family? This is why certain ones of them have left.
Destroy you? Sweetheart, are you talking about the people that contacted paparazzi? No, those were paparazzi people.
Conveniently forgetting the live she also did on that.
That wasn't us. We don't give a shit about paparazzi. Destroy you? No, actually, what we did was we talked about the videos that you put out.
And that's exactly what people from this side have been doing, is going over the things Leticia herself have stated.
You put out those videos, not us. We made commentary on them, right?
Just like how we are commentating on your behavior and also Leticia's. That's the same thing, right, Molly?
But you didn't like it. You didn't like it. Let's see what.
Isn't it strange that Molly is the only one that hasn't asked these questions. She's the only one that continues to throw a fit about anybody asking questions in this.
She says to this family, I cannot turn a blind eye to your deliberate actions. Let me continue to take care of my husband in peace. That, capital letters, would be the least you could give Vaughn, is peace for the people he loves the most.
And again, these family members have made a choice to continue to speak to these creators.
Do you know what that means? What she's saying is, go away, let me take care of my son for the people that he loves the most. Hey, girlfriend, he was excited about talking to his family.
I feel it's only right here to remind people that this is Marvon's story. Marvon loved Dre. He absolutely loved his wife. If you want to see more of that side of it, I did a video on it. It is absolutely, no matter what, Marvon loves her.
I remember. And supposedly, he left the people that loves him most. He willingly walked outside and grabbed a rope, leaving the people that he loved the most.
I could literally go on and on about this right here for hours. But what I'm going to say is, you are a life coach with zero understanding of mental illness, obviously. Zero, and should not be speaking on it.
You're the one he loved most? You were fighting. You were fighting the night before. You were fighting the day after, right?
He's in a coma, so how are they fighting the day after?
And then all of a sudden, they find him in his condition, and you're not crying, you're not upset. And Mr. Marvon Sr. said that the rope was down here. Is that what you meant by trying to destroy you?
Do you know how uneasy Marvon Sr. was when they were asking him over and over again to describe where he thought the bruising and contusions were on his neck? And whether or not that was an accurate description, this is the man who just saw his son in a horrible condition. And you are asking him extremely personal questions. And the only reason why you're asking those questions was because you want them to push a theory that you'd been spreading to your audience.
Is that what you meant? How is that destroying you? Why are you so quiet? How come you don't want anyone to see him?
I highly doubt that she doesn't want anybody to see them. I think it's just the certain people that might not have the best intentions. Did you get that?
That's really interesting. And for you to say that you don't have a lawyer, let's keep going.
How is that even close to interesting? He was adopted.
Let me continue to take care of my husband in peace. That would be the least you could give Vaughn, is peace for the people he loves the most. But he left. He left, right? That is what you're telling us. That he willingly opted to check out of this world. That, according to what was in the police report.
I'll just remind you that this is the exclusive creator to the family. You know, the family that supposedly cares about him so much, but yet this exclusive creator is basically demeaning him and his mental health.
Why would he do that? He loved you. He didn't want to be with you.
He wanted out. In my opinion,
he wanted to take off.
We've all heard the stories, the videos, we've seen the texts, but no matter what, at the end of the day, Marvon chose to stay there until he didn't. That's mental health.
I don't know, girl. I'm well aware of the storm online. However, my family has an indescribable peace given by Jehovah.
And you know that this is going to set her off.
And I will not allow you or anyone else benefiting financially from our tragedy to continue to destroy our peace. Wait a second. If you're well aware, it means that you're invested.
She's a social media influencer with a huge following, like 10 times the size of yours. She, of course, is aware because she has a team of people that try to protect her.
What do you mean? Wait, I got to call you out on this. You don't want anyone benefiting financially? Oh, fundraisers so they can go out there? YouTubers that are going on and critiquing your videos? Well, guess what? Your own people wanted us to do it, and we did.
It's very obvious that those aren't Dre's people. Those are ex-people that have held a grudge against Dre for years. They've said it themselves. You're the only one that's twisting the narrative in the story on this. And yes, you're one of the ones that's profiting the most.
Have we benefited? Yes. Or have you? Yes.
By the way, hey Leticia, since I know you're watching this, my page isn't monetized. Nope, unlike everybody else, I haven't made a cent off of Marvon.
You're on video talking about how you're going to get paid for carrying him, right? You're talking about pushing your new business off the ground. I don't think it's going to belly up. I can just see it.
And again, she goes on the personal attack. She can't go with factual details, so she goes low. She's got to attack her business ventures or this, that, and the other thing. No matter what happens, Dre has kids to support at the end of the day.
Let's let's just say you better finish it. The GoFundMe. That happens before us, sweetheart.
We all know, we're well aware.
Okay? I think that the family that started the GoFundMe were in the right. At least they were truthful.
The family that started the GoFundMe was truthful. Did you see in the GoFundMe that the family gave an update on July 13th that says that Leticia Bias was in Arizona? So truthful like that? Or what you're talking about right here when Leticia told social media that Dre had a restraining order? Numerous times did they say that? And it was never true. Dre herself has said that she never had a restraining order and nothing was ever filed in court.
You're over here getting all dressed up, bringing soup, having little fashion shows, take pictures of my dress. Do you know how bad that makes you look? But guess what? I'm glad that this happened.
Why would you ever state that you're glad that this happened? I don't care what part you're glad about, but this is a disgusting travesty. Social media has done nothing but damage to Marvon's story.
Because now you're taking it out on Leticia. Well, what the hell does Leticia ever do to you? Nothing.
What did Leticia ever do to her? Well, let's see. What did Leticia do to her son? That's what you should be asking because this is Marvon's story. And Leticia continues to put herself in these spots.
And now you're going to lie and say that she's not represented by an attorney?
Yet does not provide proof that there is an attorney.
And you're going to have Katie Joy telling the internet that Miss Leticia is a scam artist and that me and Justin are in it?
Molly, do you remember July 12th? You know, the day you had multiple meltdowns because people were trying to help Leticia handle business correctly, get attorneys figured out, stop the fundraising before there became problems, all of that stuff. And you had an absolute meltdown. You know, all the people that have been covering this case for a long time and started to see red flags and call it out. Do you remember that, Molly, at all? Is it ringing a bell at all to you?
Do you realize that what you are doing is illegal? And it's very fishy.
I didn't know you had a law degree all of a sudden.
Very, very fishy. I believe passionately that these people deserve to see their son.
You passionately do not want people asking questions or finding out more of the facts in this case. That's what you passionately do not want. But what you do want is this nonsense to continue because, again, you're profiting off of it.
Me and Justin have been willing to do whatever it took.
You are also very passionate about spreading misinformation. Like right there, Marvon Sr. and Wynette and Leticia and his stepfather, who I will not mention by name because, yeah, I have a lot of feelings there. Anyways, they have been there to see Marvon, but yet you say things like you just previously did. All you would have to do is say they have been there to see Marvon. They want to go back, but do not know if they will be able to. That's what you should be saying. That's it.
Even told Miss Wynette, tell her you'll block me. Block me. All of you, just block me and say I'll never say a word about her again. I'll delete the videos, whatever it takes, so that you get to see your son.
You've made that offer before and didn't stick to it. You offered that you would take down your videos regarding her if she let Leticia see Marvon. That happened. You still haven't taken down your videos. Yet you've made many more.
And Miss Wynette said, absolutely not. I won't tell her that. You guys have been nothing but respectful and grateful, and that they appreciated that we covered this and helped them.
Again, it goes back to I don't understand why Wynette is not coming out and saying enough. I've had enough of this BS. It is impacting me and Marvon Sr.'s ability to see Marvon, and I'm done with it. She absolutely has that control.
So this is how she ends. I'm well aware of the storm online. However, my family has an indescribable...
Don't forget about the love of the 25 police reports that was.
He doesn't speak up often, but when he does, he says some ignorant shit like this. Was there 25 police reports to the address? Yes. Is there currently the discussion of mental health? 100%.
I'm well aware of the storm online. However, my family has an indescribable peace given by Jehovah and will not allow you and anyone else to benefit financially from our tragedy to continue to destroy our peace. Stay away. That's what she said.
But have you stopped to think about what this has actually done to all of the family?
And now, Miss Leticia is not happy because Dre is going against their legal binding agreement.
She uses the terms legal binding agreement. So therefore, in my opinion, especially with what she's showing, you would have court paperwork filed in court, giving it a case number. She said legal binding agreement. So there is nothing filed whatsoever in Arizona. There is no case number on this paperwork. You can go on the Arizona sites and download this paperwork yourself and or fill it out online and print it off.
Now she doesn't want Miss Leticia out there. Why don't you want your husband's blood relatives to see him?
Think about the mess that this has become.
I'm going to ask you that again. Well, guess what? It's on my phone. I have, and so does Justin. There it is. That's a legal document right here. It says Superior Court of Arizona. Are you familiar with that, Trey?
Again, for all you internet sleuths, you can go on to the form site yourself and print out the same exact packet of information. You yourself can fill this out and get the same exact documents. Until it is filed in court, there is no case number.
Are you familiar with this piece of paper? County of Pima?
Yeah. The one that the lawyers worked out together there? Yeah.
Yeah, we have the whole thing.
And this is where we are going to switch gears because she keeps hammering home that this is a legal binding agreement, that this is court paperwork that is filed. That is what she is alluding to in her statements and what she is showing, that there is obviously an attorney because there's paperwork that's been done. But Leticia herself addressed this. She has talked about this openly on live, and still in the Arizona court system, which I will be providing a direct link to in the description, there is 0 filings. So I encourage you to go into the Arizona court system and search for yourself. You will find that there is no such paperwork whatsoever that has been filled out and filed in the court. It may have been filled out, but once it's filed in court, it is assigned a case number. Let's go.
Here, and but you know, my husband had already taken off. I taken off from work, so we had to get back so things can, get back because just like I said, we got a long road ahead of us, so we got to get back to work. But I've made plans to I'm just gonna, if I have to hop on the plane and just go for the week. I'm off on weekends. If I have to just go for the weekends until things start getting legally done.
This stream is from July 26th. This is the first stream Leticia did after her first visit to Marvon in Arizona. You will hear what she says. Pay attention to her words.
Just try to do the best I could with visitation that way because I can't pick up the phone and call the hospital. I can't pick up the phone and call Andrea and ask how my son is doing.
Let me remind you, though, this is July 26th. At this point in time, she might not have been able to do that. But before she was, in the beginning of this, her and Dre were communicating until Leticia got upset because Dre said they were limiting visitors.
I text her, to just let her know, hey, we're leaving, and I still hadn't gotten a response. So I guess she says she's gone and she don't have to speak to me anymore.
And right there, she states that she texted her and got no response from Dre. But she had been communicating with Dre, obviously. Leticia says that there was an agreement.
So,
have you gotten to see your grandson?
No, the second day I was there, that was my question. Like, would it be? And I didn't just say my grandson. I say the grandchildren. And I see that the kids while I'm here, and she said absolutely not.
Again, she states that they had communicated. And I'll let Leticia herself explain why Dre was probably hesitant to let her see the kids.
Which broke my heart because, you're talking about my son, and I never met him.
And I've never met him. So it leads me to believe that none of this was a priority until Marvon's incident. And of course, you can have differing opinions, but he is almost 7 years old, or is 7 years old.
And I was, that was a little heartbreaking, but I looked at the big picture. The bigger picture was from the beginning of me just wanting to be there and see him. So I accomplished that part. So I looked at the bigger picture. You just take this time out and be with your son, but you're going to see your grandson no matter what, whether it's the good way or the bad way, but you're going to see him. And
I wonder what she means by whether it's the good way or the bad way, because that is very open-ended and doesn't really sit well with me. Because let me say this as nicely as I can. If they were such a priority, why only now? Why now?
and I just put it aside so I wouldn't, ruin the rest of my business with my son. And it really hurt it. It really did, because I was, even if she'd have told me no toward the girls, but come on, why couldn't see Rosa while I was there?
The narrative that Leticia and Marvon had this excellent relationship is just not true. Unfortunately, their relationship was estranged. Marvon traveled to Georgia in 2019 and didn't make any effort to see Leticia. They have been to Georgia since Rosa was born. They did not make an effort to see Leticia. Wynette and Marvon Sr. have met Rosa. They have not. And it is Taraz, but everybody calls him Rosa.
But it was absolutely not.
Yeah. And everything's going good. Are you happy with your attorney?
Yes, and I'm happy, but just like she said, I'm probably gonna walk around here with more lawyers than Donald Trump.
Not sure how it would be possible for her to have more attorneys than Donald Trump, considering 99% of the attorneys that have been contacted have said no to this case, that there is no case.
It's like for everything that needs to be done is requiring another attorney, and I'm like, oh my God, if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do.
And this is when multiple attorneys come into play.
The probate attorneys are different from an attorney if you're trying to do a lawsuit. A lawsuit attorney is different from a prosecution/defense attorney when you're trying to press charges. So they go 3 different attorneys right there.
I said pretty early on that one of my opinions was that one of their motives for doing this was assets, Marvon's assets. I still believe that, especially with a probate attorney.
So if anybody know an attorney that can do it all, please direct me in the right spot. But as from what I'm going through right now, it's like everybody has their own field of expertise. So I just have to go from there.
But at this time, she had already been to Arizona, and they said that she hired an attorney to draw up an agreement so she could see Marvon. So Leticia herself has told everybody that she hired an attorney to do an agreement for visitation of Marvon. That is what we know at this point of July 26th in this video.
Oh, man.
Okay, we're here to help you. We're still collecting funds for your transportation and for your legal fees.
It's okay, we're here for you. We're still collecting funds for your legal fees. Exactly what legal fees? You expect everybody to just keep donating. There's never been a goal amount that's been listed. There has never been any updates on the total amount raised, which is typical with fundraisers. There has never been any transparency whatsoever. But you want us to continue to donate for legal fees. But Marvon Sr. can't even find out where his own son is.
Yeah. While we on here with this truck situation. Oh my God! Yeah, my car.
What about
attacking me about my car?
Oh, they're attacking you about your car. Why? Why would they do that?
It's being said that I took the funds and bought a new car. I didn't buy a new car. Anybody that know me know I had that car since September 2020, and that's the same vehicle I drove where I was going.
I don't know if it was stated that she took the funds and bought a new vehicle. I think what was stated was that she had a brand new vehicle for somebody that did not have any funds whatsoever to make this trip possible to see Marvon, that she needed crowdfunding.
I don't get that. I'm not going to take funds. If I spent the money that was donated to me, and trust me, Katie wasn't the only one requesting a refund now.
Wait, did you hear that? Katie wasn't the only one requesting a refund. Katie got a refund because Katie requested a refund through GoFundMe. Anybody that hasn't requested through GoFundMe hasn't gotten one.
That money, I wouldn't be able to pay back people if the money was used for anything. That money is
That's right. You told me a week ago that the money is still sitting there.
She says that Leticia told her a week ago that the funds were still there. But we have a text message from Leticia to the admins of the group that the GoFundMe was cashed out and would be available on July 16th.
That money is there. But I asked for, in the beginning, I asked for help with an attorney for visitation rights.
Yeah.
Can anyone count how many times we've heard that Leticia never asked for a single thing? Anybody know?
Okay. So happened, my attorney was able to negotiate terms without going into a courthouse.
Right. It so happens that my attorney was able to negotiate without going into a courthouse.
So, but that still does not mean that I did not have to pay her that retainer fee.
Of course, you still have to pay her.
Documents that were signed and ready to be sent to court is still sitting there because we were scared that after the first visit that I would get barred.
Documents that were filled out are still sitting there because we were afraid after the first visit that I might get barred. Did you guys just hear that? They never filed any documents. Leticia herself says that on July 26th. No court paperwork was ever filed. That would be the paperwork they're showing you that's been filled out and never filed.
But things worked itself out where that's why I was so cautious and so limited on what I was doing when I was there because I did not want to get my visits snatched away.
Sure.
And I'll be going to the court.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to get your visits snatched away, then why didn't you take your attorney's advice? Because at this time, you had been telling people that your attorney had advised you to stay away from social media. Then why didn't you take that?
Okay, now, if I hire these other two lawyers or whatever other lawyer, that requires another retainer fee for that particular lawyer and whatever else money is going to cost.
Anybody remember that screenshot I might have released? And then all of a sudden, here comes her talking about 3 attorneys. She wanted 3 attorneys because that would somehow account for all of this money. Because as of the 14th of July, she told people she had plenty of funds for the attorney already. But she didn't need one more than the retainer.
I don't understand why people think that. And the hurtful part is that I asked the one time when my cousin decided to do the GoFundMe, everything else came upon people asking me for that information.
That's
Your
exactly.
Zelle, your PayPal. I created these things not even knowing what it was at first.
Right.
I already had a cash out, but that was it.
And once again, that's another lie. She created these things not knowing what they are. We know that she already had most of these apps because at one point in time she owned a taxi business. She herself has stated that.
And we really are trying to seek justice. And
that's the main thing right there.
Yeah.
Even though people are saying it's flipped into me, no, it's not flipped into me. It's just that we were able to cut one corner.
It's interesting that she mentions it's flipped into her and she says, no, it hasn't. But you'll see very shortly that I even have tried to have a conversation with Leticia about good memories of Marvon and highlighting the good things of Marvon. Yet I was ignored.
And I want to tell everyone, if you're listening to me right now, thank you for keeping your eyes on the prize, which is Marvon and Rosa and those beautiful 2 little girls. I pray. My husband said, thank everyone for support, but those 2 beautiful girls, if they dad can get them, and you think that it feels good for somebody to say that they want to take a child from a mother? No, it hurts. But what you look at is if it's in what's in their best interest at the time.
I have to first mention that her verbiage choice of keeping your eyes on the prize, what exactly is the prize? Because I thought this was about Marvon. It just shows how out of touch with reality she is and how comfortable she is telling this to followers. She has no relationship with these children whatsoever. So her having Raza or Taraz at any point is very strange.
Maybe it could just be a temporary thing, to say, okay, I'll keep him for a little while until you get yourself together, and then you can have him back.
And we know that Leticia herself linked up with the very people that were calling CPS on Dre, her daughter-in-law. But if there was immediate concerns, wouldn't you have stepped in as the grandma?
Or my son wakes up and he can get his own son.
This is my opinion, but it seems like she's very comfortable saying that stuff because she knows there's no possibility of him waking up.
That is not a good feeling. I've been through that.
You've lived it. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But I'm not just out to seek and destroy. That's not me.
What they are referencing here is that Leticia was first a mother at 14 to Marvon's older sister. Then she had Marvon. Marvon was put up for adoption. That is why she understands.
We know that, Miss Leticia.
We're not trying to hurt anyone in the process, which I feel like it was that way in the beginning for me. People were trying to hurt, well, I'm not even gonna say people, I'm gonna just say Miss McCray.
I would love to hear what she thinks Dre has done exactly to hurt her in the beginning. What exactly did Dre do that hurt her, or did she feel was an attack on her in the very beginning? And what prompted her to bring that to social media? We know two of her very first contacts were Dre's ex admin and a competitor in paparazzi. That seems pretty intentional to me.
But I still sucked it up because I knew the only goal I had. But I still sucked it up because I knew the only goal I had was seeing my son. And so that was accomplished. Now the rest of the stuff needs to be done.
If that was the only goal she had, then why are we September 2nd and this is still ongoing and there's still fundraising? Because still to this date, there is nothing filed in the courts on behalf of Marvon.
Because those babies, I've sat here and heard and read and Googled about going through withdrawals. Oh my God. I mean, I'm a grown woman.
And here
I
she
think I can
alleges
take
that the kids are
You're talking
potentially
about
having
children?
withdrawals. If you are concerned about that, why aren't you handling this instead of taking it to social media? Why has social media been the answer to everything for you?
To just be saying, okay, the bottom line is that Marvon is in a coma. He has not waken up. Yes, he is not on a ventilator, but why is he still not woke? What is wrong that he's still not woke?
In the police officer's narrative, it states that he had no brain activity. Dre herself has addressed his condition and what doctors have told her. That is that.
Blowing it because she was able to refund the people that have asked. If she was just blowing this money, she went ahead. The however $600 it was that the one person asked for, she went already spent through that money.
I think it was 1,000.
No, I saw the refund.
Person, 20 years, anybody that donated to GoFundMe, if they wanted to refund it, it's an open option. That's their policy. You can get your money back.
And here they are, once again, acknowledging that multiple people had asked for refunds. So if numerous people had been asking for refunds, why have only a couple of them been drugged and doxxed on social media by this creator? Can anybody explain that to me? Why, if all of these people had been asking for refunds, why has there only been attacks on certain ones? Is that because they've spoke out and made people question things?
But I expected it because that's why my mom always told me never put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
So I left there just in case, and I'll be dog if it didn't come to fruition. But it's okay because what people don't know is that when one door closes, a window opens.
If she left the money in GoFundMe, then first of all, why did she tell the admins that they were cashing out the GoFundMe money on the 16th of July? And secondly, if she had $4,000 to refund people because that's what she left it there for, why haven't all of these people gotten refunds?
But I really thank you guys. And listen, do not stop.
Thank you.
Please do not stop. My girls inside the Justice for Bond group and the exposing Dre McCray.
And right here, she puts the connection together. Those are her girls doing her dirty work in the Justice for Vaughn group, except Tracy. She got out.
I mean, I'm actually so grateful and thankful every single time that I almost want to stop. I almost want to burst into tears every time you tell me and Justin and Elle, keep going. Because there's a lot of people that want to shut us up and a lot of people that want to dismiss us. But this is Marvon's mother.
Of course, it makes you want to cry when she tells you to continue because that means a bigger paycheck for you. And of course, she's going to tell you to continue because she's in so deep at this point. What's any harm of going a little bit further?
This is his family. All we're not trying to hurt them in any way, shape, or form. All we're trying to do is help them. And every time you say thank you, keep going. It's almost like you're giving us a seal of approval, like you're proud of what we're doing and the way that we're doing, because we don't really know what to do because I've never seen a case like this. So, we're both of us, it's like we're on a plane and me and Justin are like the pilots and she's air traffic control and we don't have our pilot's license yet.
That's right.
It is so obvious that they don't have their pilot's license, as she's saying. But they have intentionally continued to overshadow the questions and the problems in this case. Molly was very aware early on, like a couple days in, that there was major problems in this case. People had started asking questions already and calling things out. Molly had a fit about that because in the first few days, she made bank covering this case. And yes, I do expect a big switch up sooner or later because at some point there's proof people have to stop denying the facts.
And the good part is with that I love with me, you, Justin, and Ella, is that you guys have an open line of communication with me and my family.
Yes.
So if there's something, if there's something that I'm uncomfortable with, what do I do?
You'll tell me.
I'll tell you immediately, and what do? You say, okay, then we'll fix it.
We'll fix it.
So what more can you want somebody that's saying, oh, I'm doing it my way and my way only? No, you got to stay in communication with us.
That kind of sounds like somebody that would be working a job. Like when you check in with your boss and make sure that they are okay with everything that you're doing. But I don't know, that's just what it seems like to me.
If it's something that, we all need to speak about, we talk about it, and then you go on with it. Please.
But a major problem has been there has been too many cooks in the kitchen. Leticia got close with too many people that want to be in charge.
Please don't stop, because the Justice for Bond page and the exposed page gave me a little voice, a bigger voice, and then you guys took the baton and you ran with it. So I really want you guys to just say that me and my family really, really, really do appreciate you. And every supporter, every person that whether you were a little hesitant at first until you got your own information and then you said, you know what, this is the right thing to do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And unfortunately, what's happened is so many people have not taken the time to research the facts and or make up their own opinion. They are blindly following information given to them.
Could you clear up a little tiny rumor that's been going around?
Sure. I bet you know what it is.
Oh, I think they figured us out, Leticia. You promised us a cut of all the donation money, right?
Okay, so I'm sorry I'm laughing.
I don't think you need a cut of anything. You are making plenty of money. Have you even donated 10% of what you made to this family, Molly? Even close to 10%?
That is I'm from Savannah.
That's a sin.
And that's like a little bit of bribery, right? Is that bribery? No.
I don't know what that is, but it's absurd, is what it is.
Yeah. So,
no.
Okay, so why would you take money out of your pocket and donate to the cause, and then
ask for a cut?
So it don't sound too right. So we're gonna
welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube.
Welcome to the internet. No, that's not true at all.
She didn't need a cut of the donations. That's not it ever. They needed to keep the story going, so donations and views kept in.
No, this is they help with these, these lawyers and stuff.
These lawyers and such.
Air Force wife, she said that she would like to buy let me get back to the comment, but Air Force wife left a comment and it said something about it says, I would like to purchase Mama T a round trip ticket next week to go see her baby boy if someone could reach out to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Air Force wife said she would purchase you a round trip ticket to go see Bond next weekend.
I know Air Force wife.
She's such a sweet human being.
Numerous people have offered to pay for plane tickets, round trip plane tickets for the entire family or just Leticia. Multiple people have, and she still has not taken a return trip to Arizona.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Air Force wife.
Do you have a PayPal? There's people in here asking for PayPal because a lot of them are in Australia. So they can only.
Yes.
Do you have a PayPal? Remember I asked you to put up a PayPal?
Yes, I'll text it to you. I think I did to either Justin or you.
And Zelle, which I got. You might have her Zelle.
Remember, she didn't have these apps at first. At least that's what we were told once again.
Is the Zelle and
here. The PayPal is Leticia GA. But you can use my email address also.
Right. And what's your email?
Leticia980@gmail.com.
And again, just pointing out, there has been a lot of inconsistencies in statements that have been given to numerous people about all of the different topics. Not just one thing, many things compiled. You can pause to read all of these screenshots.
Look like somebody already did PayPal, so they figured it out.
Okay.
And again, it's because she had a taxi business.
We've got at Leticia, Georgia. And then her email.
GA.
I did.
Yeah.
GA.
Leticia980 GA.
Leticia GA. And or her email is Leticia GA 980.
Leticia980@gmail.com.
Oh. Ooh.
It's one of the many times Molly confused the information.
So PayPal is what?
Leticia980@gmail.com.
Okay.
$20. Thank you, Darian.
And then what's the Zelle?
Her Zelle is, I have it on my
Leticia980@gmail.com.
If you go back and rewatch a lot of the videos, you will hear inconsistencies in things that they've told throughout this entire story. When you start putting them together, it's a big problem. It's all these little pieces that put together the bigger picture.
I hate to ask this, but you have I know we're asking you to start a lot of things, but do you have a Venmo?
I think I did because I just, you asked me that before. I think I do. I just need to learn I got to remember how to log into it. Because, I didn't have a cab business for a while, so all of that had a requirement.
Right.
But once I stopped the cab business, I kind of let things go. But
and there's the actual truth.
It's just as simple as logging back into those stuff.
All she has to do is log back in.
Huh?
I just sent something through Cash App for me and for someone that sent some to me to send to her.
Okay.
It's got a little note attached to it that'll tell her who it's from.
Yeah,
and this is kind of how the creators themselves put themselves in a bad situation, because they were collecting funds on behalf of Leticia and then forwarding it on. I do not know if everything got forwarded, but it just can't all be easily tracked. In most typical fundraisers, there's a goal amount that they're intending on reaching. That has never been the case in this story. But now you've heard some of the bigger statements that she's made. So this is why people were confused initially and misunderstanding the whole agreement. So now when Molly is stating that there is this legal binding contract or agreement between Leticia and Dre, but then she's saying that Dre is texting Wynette that Leticia doesn't have an attorney. That's what the current statements have been made as of recently. But let's get back into the most recent statements that Molly has made concerning this legal binding agreement.
Marvon McCray. Okay, so we have an address here. We have a phone number, and it says, if I zoom in, attorney for petitioner, Leticia Bias.
And again, this is the best screenshot we could get.
Petition the court for a contact order to Andrea McCray to allow Ms. Bias to have in-person and telephone contact with subject person.
We just watched the video where Leticia states that they filled out the paperwork, but they never filed this paperwork. It's never been filed. You can search for documents filed in Arizona yourself if you want.
Leticia Bias's biological son. I'm not going to read the rest. So, Dre McCray and Katie have lied to you.
And right back into everybody else as the liars.
There are receipts. Now we have to say, all right, because you want to know something? Miss Leticia said, gloves are off. Gloves are fucking off. She said, bring it. Bring investigators to my fucking house so I can just show them. She didn't say that. I threw it in the fuck. She doesn't talk like that. That's me. Did she not say that, Justin? She's like, I am. And she wanted to back down so many times because she knows how ugly and disgusting this girl is.
And again, this is their daughter-in-law that Molly's talking about. The daughter-in-law. This is supposedly the representative for their family that continually is bashing their son's wife. But that leads us into the stream that Molly did on August 8th when Leticia comes live with Molly. Again, this feeds into what they're currently telling people is going on in the Marvon McCray story. She, on September 1st, made a ton of statements. So we're going back and kind of discrediting those statements with the facts.
Leticia, I'm sorry we didn't see you in chat.
Oh, it's okay.
How are you doing tonight? I know that tonight's been rough.
Yeah, real rough.
Leticia, don't give any refunds back. Don't. It's a donation. What this woman's doing to you is actually a crime.
And this is when Molly starts telling her, do not refund.
I heard Judy Bill. I mean, they're all just, it's like one after the other. And then they saying all kind of hateful stuff behind it. And I'm like, I've given so many refunds back, and now I'm in my own money. I can't even go back and see my son if I wanted to.
Question here is, why are only certain people that requested refunds being attacked when everybody has stated that numerous people have asked for refunds?
Because the money I'm working and trying to save up because I have to pay my lawyers. I just got an invoice from my lawyer, the lawyer in Tucson today, $2,800 just for phone call.
So on August 8th, she states that she just got an invoice from her attorney for $2,800 for phone calls. But still, nothing has been filed in court to this date.
See, people ain't realizing that it's expensive.
$2,800 for phone calls is extremely expensive.
So it's going to take me a little while longer, but I'm going back.
People offering plane tickets. Why is it taking her so long?
Everyone is in the chat saying, please don't give back the refunds. This is just one person trying to make everyone out to make you look like some sort of villain and a liar and a lowlife. It's not right.
Nobody's trying to do anything but shed some truth into Marvon McCray's story.
I just keep working and just keep doing what I can do, you know. But I'm trying to. I don't know what to say anymore.
Should have stopped talking when your attorney advised you that.
I don't understand how we go from Marvin to now them making it seem like he the worst person in the world and my children, and now every post is about me. How did we get off the main subject?
Because unfortunately, you inserted yourself in Marvon's story and became a huge piece of Marvon's story. That's why the attention has fallen on you. Your choice.
I don't know.
I'm not a scam artist, Melissa.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
And why have you not provided proof?
I know you're not. I know you're not. I never thought that you were. I don't think no one normal thinks that you're a scam artist. No one normal. Just remember that. Remember, that girl's, she has evil blood. Both of them. They both have evil, evil blood.
And remember, Leticia sits here through all of this crap that Molly talks on Dre. Her daughter-in-law, right? The one she's not trying to hurt.
And I hate to say that about another human being, but...
Yeah, you can see it. This is good versus evil, though.
Absolutely.
You've said a lot worse, Molly.
Stop giving out refunds. No one's entitled to a refund on a lie.
And who are you to state that people are not entitled to refunds after Leticia herself told multiple people that they would get refunds? Who are you, Molly?
The lie is that you concocted a fake story. This is what she's put out. We've recorded it. She's saying that this whole Justice for Vaughn is a lie and that you made up this whole story. We have it recorded.
My son is in the hospital because of a story that I made
up. I don't know. We're talking about a girl who's living on another planet. That doesn't make sense, does it?
Nope, you're right. That doesn't make sense at all.
What is the $2,800 for? She just got a bill for an attorney for $2,800.
Wouldn't it have just been easier to provide proof that the attorney was real by showing invoices or all these bills like she states she has?
Invoice for just phone conversations because I'm way in Savannah. And in order for me to speak with my lawyer, I have to call him. Or any discussions that we have is over the phone. So,
And yet, still no court filings.
It costs.
I know it does.
It's not cheap.
Attorneys, I'm sure, are very costly.
You haven't seen lawyers' fees until you need one. Lawyer fees are serious.
Yeah. And
serious.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get what I need to get done, I got to have a lawyer.
You need 1, 2, or 3 attorneys.
I get that.
How much money have you refunded already?
About $4,000.
$4,000. Wow.
Leticia states on August 8th that she's given over $4,000 in refunds, but proof of zero.
So I explained to Miss Judy today that I'm a little backed up because there was people that was requesting refunds, and I didn't know that you can look inside of the Cash App and see the history of when the person gave you the refund. So, I was just refunding, and now I'm having to check each request to see if they even donated in the first place. Now, what people are failing to realize too is that there was a million Cash Apps out there. Half of the refunds that y'all probably asking for, I probably didn't even get.
That makes absolutely 0 sense.
Until I look in the history and see that the person even donated in the first place. But by then, I'm already a couple of thousand in refunds.
So you mean to tell me she was refunding people that never donated it in the first place? That's the story they're going to go with, right?
So I explained to Ms. Judy today. I sent her a text and just let her know it'll probably be by Friday and I'll refund her.
But that never happened.
And this other young lady who said that she requested a refund from me, I just received the first request from her today at 6 o'clock, about 6:20. I received a request from her, but it was already put out there like I denied her when I didn't, because I never got a request. The young lady that said she donated from your live because of what Katie did.
Yeah, we saw
spend
that.
her money on no steak dinner.
And I'm just putting this here because, once again, she promised to pay back these people.
No, I didn't. No. The steak dinner thing was with Wynette. I had asked you if I could make, and this was between
and
you and
that's
I.
another thing. People are mixing me and them up.
Yeah,
I mean, they are really mixing us up. I'm not Wynette, and the things that I'm doing is for trying to get things done with my son. So whatever Wynette and Mr. Jackson do is totally different from me.
But actually, you did, and that's coming up too.
I see plenty of posts where they're saying it's me when it's not me.
I haven't had you confused one time with Wynette.
I cannot believe that you've refunded $4,000 and you don't even know if they donated to you, do you?
Not until, well, no, now, because when I talk to the people at Cash App, they taught me how to go inside of the person's profile. Like, say you request a refund, I go in your profile and I can see what you sent me versus, me automatically refunding. But I had already done that a bunch of times before I even realized how to do it. So now, it's to the point where, like, I'm learning. I know how to do it now, but at first I didn't know how to do it. I just was responding to people's requests.
This is my conversation with Leticia. Leticia came to my inbox on August 21st and told me that somebody had been accusing her of something. I'm providing 100% of the conversation for full transparency, because you will see that I offered suggestions of how she could easily prove the situation. She ignored that. She told me authorities were involved. Basically, reports had been made. She wasn't needing to prove her innocence. Also see that she attempted to tell me somebody came to her inbox, said that they donated. Leticia searched for the donation, couldn't find it. I don't understand that whole part of it, but you'll notice the name is very familiar. One of the major things I mentioned in my conversation with Leticia is I reached out to her the other day after this conversation had ended and asked her if she wanted to provide me with any positive memories of Marvon as a son, or even the kid's perspective, Marvon as a brother. She ignored it. She did read it, but you'll see where she spends her time and who she spends her time with on social media. Again, I just find it interesting that she won't respond to a message about spreading positivity about Marvon's story, but she entertains the drama and the nonsense on a daily basis. And once again, it would be easy to prove that she was sending refunds to people that hadn't donated. That is all found easily in her history. She is not as innocent as people think, and she definitely finds herself all over the internet. She responds to a lot of stuff online. And if somebody is having medical issues due to the stress of things that are happening on social media, partaking in social media is probably not that wise. But as always, this is just solely my opinion on the situation.
I got asked for $2,000, which I denied it, but a lady requested that I give.
People do request stuff like that all the time.
It's $2,000 refund for praying for my son.
It's not a refund request. That's a scam.
And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I tell you no lie.
But you'll tell a million of them.
Get people that request money. And then a lot of the times, if you don't pay attention to receive or pay, sometimes you pay something because somebody say they need $75 for their rent or something. You see what I'm saying? So It was like a whole mess of stuff with this Cash App. So now I'm having to take my time and go through it and see if the person even gave me anything in the first place. Because a lot of them probably requesting money on stuff that they may have gave to another Cash App that didn't even belong.
Excuse me.
She has had multiple opportunities to prove that all of this stuff is happening. She can easily show that this stuff is happening and or that she has given all of these refunds. It would have been easily proved.
Hattie, joyless, show some receipts and end this. You know what? We thought about that. And no, it's going to create more of a problem. So how about you, who have never seen here before, take your advice and shove it. Receipts. Get out of here.
I sent it, then what? They still don't want their money.
Exactly.
They got some type of hate for me.
It's going to be like, I talked to Justin about it. I told my husband. My husband said, hell no. They're going to make something out of that too. Don't even do it.
I feel like they're only not showing receipts because they don't have them.
So let me tell you.
My lawyer from Tucson say that she got over 300 calls ever since her name was put out there about, is she my lawyer, how much I paid, and this, that, and the other.
None of this is shocking that your attorney got numerous calls. You yourself told this information to so many people online. Do you remember getting help from Dre's ex-admin to contact this attorney and also other admins? Not shocking that this got released. But you have given so much misinformation about your attorney. You were having strangers from the internet communicate with this attorney and send things on your behalf. Again, it's just not shocking that it got released.
You're kidding me.
No. So I might have been charged for that too.
How'd I know that was going to cost her money?
Do we know exactly who put out the lawyer's name? Because I never thought in a million years people would call.
Yeah, they're calling to see if she's my actual lawyer and how much I paid if she's my lawyer and all of that. At first, I think she was maybe answering, but then I think when she realized that this was, like a lot of people calling on stuff, she stopped answering.
I'm sure the attorney did get a few different calls, but I don't think it's in the excess that they make it to be. I highly doubt that.
So me and her communication went from phone to emails.
But now they can only email stuff back and forth.
Oh, it's one of the groups? Wow.
But I got a clear idea. I mean, because only a handful of people, not even a handful of people knew who my lawyer was. So whoever did it, they had to been, someone who actually knew that I hired that particular lawyer.
It was a random fake account that dropped the information.
I remember you said the name, but I never looked at it twice.
Yeah.
I never said anything. I don't even know who the person's name is. Then when I saw that it was doxed, I remember you said, "Oh my God, how'd they find out?" I was like, I have no idea.
Once again, if you are the exclusive creator for the family, wouldn't you verify some of this information and make sure you have proof of it so you can accurately tell a story?
Everyone's telling you, everyone in the chat is telling you, do not give any more refunds. Shame on you.
I understand, but they're not the one that's being harassed. I'm being the one that's being harassed. And you know what? The last thing I need, because my boss brought this up to me, because it's all over the internet. If I lose my job, the only sense of income that I have to take care of what I need to take care of, for what?
I've said it many times. If the family is being harassed like they claim they have been, then show it.
Like I'm this fraud or this evil person, or I'm around here scamming people.
Yeah, you're being slandered.
I don't need that getting to my job.
You're being slandered. Big time.
First of all, let me just state, it's not slander if it's true. It's not slander if it's true. And secondly, if none of this is true, then why would it have any impact on your job? Why wouldn't your employer know your character already?
I had a young lady inbox me and said that she tried to donate to me, and I went to... Then I wouldn't accept it. Because when you got 1,000 people coming at you about stuff, you don't know who to trust, who not to trust, and I don't want to accept any more donations if I'm thinking that they're going to turn around in 5 minutes and tell me they want it back. So no, I haven't been accepting it. If they ask me to accept it, I decline it.
I have a question about this. Does anybody have proof that they've tried to donate to Leticia and she has declined said donation? Does anybody at all?
Oh, it's a good bit. I don't know. Let's see, $10, $5. I don't see anything for that much.
Okay, I'm looking at my history with you, and it says July 8th, $150. July 14th, $1,000 for you and family. July 15th, Open Your Eyes, Vaughn, $50. From Courtney, $100. Hotel accommodation donations, $385. Steak dinner, $150. And that's when you guys were already in Tucson, because you were in Texas. I told you guys to get yourself something to eat and rest.
Wait, did she just catch herself in another lie?
That's my history with you. And no, I will not be asking for $2,000 back. That's ridiculous.
Again, Molly, is $2,000 even 10% of what you've made covering the story? I would really be interested for you to answer that. Is it 10%?
That's what it says. Check Zelle. I love you. May God be with you.
Oh, we went to Zelle?
No, this is Faith.
Oh,
okay. This is, yeah, and we're also being told you should shut off your messages. Stop. Listen, they don't have the balls. Nobody's got the balls to go to the police and say that you're raising money under false pretenses, because that is some major slander. Major.
Here's once again where they start giving Leticia advice. And once again, she takes it. But what they don't know is she had already blocked people off of Cash App from requesting refunds.
Exactly. They don't have a legal. Even my husband said, he was like, ooh, this woman has a case. Don't give back anything. And my husband said, do not show these people anything.
Are you so sure about that now? I know this was August 8th.
And if authorities or a lawyer asks you for it, you show it to them. You don't show it to a bunch of ignorant people on YouTube. If you don't want to donate, don't donate. There's not a gun to your head. If you don't want to help her see her son, don't. But it seems like you're using this over her head, and that's wrong.
It's my personal opinion that they would have gotten more donations by being transparent the entire time than they would have in the current situation.
You're giving it to her just so you can have a story to say, "Ooh, I asked for my money back and I didn't get it." That's exactly what they're doing, and that's exactly what she's doing.
It actually has nothing to do with what was going on.
Well, because Mr. Jackson hung up the phone and said, "I got a bad feeling about this girl."
And again, none of this has anything to do with Katie.
I just sent an email on who doxed the lawyer.
Oh, gosh.
You know what? Why would you do that?
I bet y'all know exactly who it is.
Well, definitely was not me. Everything that you've ever given me, I never showed anybody.
I know. If not, you always ask me, can you?
Yep.
She gave it to numerous people. Don't worry, Molly. It's not just you.
Remember, Miss Leticia never asked for anything.
And we already know that that itself is not true.
The GoFundMe is there. I don't push GoFundMe. I don't like GoFundMe. That's
here you tell people you don't like GoFundMe.
When I said, do you have a cat badge? She didn't know. She didn't have any of this. But then the people in Australia were like, oh, could she get a PayPal? So she made the PayPal. Do you think that this woman knew what Zelle was? No, she didn't know what Zelle was.
I didn't use it.
Once again, we've debunked that lie so many times. Leticia had all these payment apps. She already had access to every single one of them. All she needed to do was log back in the accounts. You've heard her state that herself. She said it many times, but they continue to pass off misinformation, even while she's on there.
But when I went to my account, it was there.
Oh, okay.
The account, the bank that I used, they had it, but I never used it. So
Katie subs are saying that you got $30,000 on Cash App.
Jesus, tell them to show me where $30,000. Ain't on Cash App seeing your monthly statement, like a monthly or a yearly statement?
I have no idea.
Nobody has an accurate accounting of how much was actually collected. But we have various accountings that Leticia Bias gave herself to other people. And with those numbers, if you figure how many weeks we are in, she's made a lot.
Yeah. So if I had that much money on Cash App, that means my bank account would look.
I think your bank account would be like, what?
You can pause to read this post. There is more follow-up on this post on my Facebook page also. One thing you'll notice in this post is Leticia told this person that as of the 15th, she had collected over $14,000.
Yes, they're saying turn off Cash App requests. Tell Leticia. Everyone's saying turn off your Cash App requests.
And you will see in these screenshots that Leticia and Gigi had already figured out how to shut off her refund request. These messages were from July 26th. This is being streamed on August 8th. She had already shut them off before August 8th. So if refund requests were shut off around July 26th, then how by the 8th of August has she refunded $4,000?
Because people are requesting money from you that probably never even gave to you.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going on.
And you'll see in her messages to me, she does mention that somebody said they donated to her and she didn't get it. But many of you will recognize the name.
Well, guess what? Her attorney setting up a separate fund is going to cost more money.
I don't know how much extra it would cost for an attorney to set up a trust fund for people to donate to. I would think that some of them are very familiar with doing things like that.
You do know that, right?
That's what I tried to explain the first time.
You said that weeks ago. That's going to take time, and it's going to cost them her money.
They have stated that this case is going to be very lengthy and expensive, so I would figure a trust would be very beneficial.
This is victim shaming and victim harassment. What the F is wrong with the world today? Everything.
But wouldn't that apply to Dre also?
Her Cash Apps are wanting her to accept them. So apparently you're getting donations on Cash App, but they're waiting to be. My last $50 was sent Sunday morning. Hope she got it. Was probably through Nicole S. Thank you, Nicole. Nicole's a sweetheart.
Nicole S.
People are sending their last $50.
I just.
Janine?
Molly.
What?
I've been trying to get you on the chat. Can you tell Leticia to shut off her request on the Cash App?
Do you know how to shut off the requests on Cash App?
She has to go into settings and
Settings.
scroll down to privacy and shut off her request so that way people don't request money back on it.
And as we know, she already knew how to shut these refund requests off. It was already done.
Okay.
In the privacy?
Go to settings.
Yep.
Okay.
Go to settings.
Oh, it do say incoming request.
Income,
yes,
she found income request.
Turn that off.
Okay.
But they even teach her how to unlink her card.
It's turned off.
Okay.
Okay, and then also too, make sure that she doesn't have a bank card linked to that account. Only when she has to like withdraw out of it is the only time that she should have a card linked to it. Because if somebody tries to do a request, they can get it because if you have a card linked to it, regardless if she like accepts it or not, the bank can dispute it and get it from her card. So if she doesn't have a card on there at all, then they can't get anything.
That's not exactly how it works.
Well, how about that?
Okay, so
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I deal with Cash App and all that
take
stuff.
your card off.
Take your card off too? Did she say take her card off too?
Make sure she has no card on it.
No card.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, take that off.
Accept the money first and then take it. And then
Even if
take
you
it
just,
off.
Are you getting any money right now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then accept the money.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being
so
here.
every so often, because people are donating now, from their heart, once you get to a certain amount, then you can, transfer your funds into your bank account, and then you can always unlink and link your card back, link your card back, but take it off completely. And then when you want to deposit your money back into another account or whatever, then you just add the card to it, and then once you're done, unlink that card again. Because if you have something linked to that Cash App, it doesn't matter if you say yes or no, they'll get the money. So be careful with that.
Okay.
It seems like it would have been so much easier just to provide simple receipts of all of this stuff instead of going to all these links.
Are there any updates on Vaughn? She doesn't know. She's not allowed to know.
No, the only way I know is when I go back up there.
Yeah. She's got to go back up there, but she's working doubles.
But we also know that they didn't try.
The most I just got was 150.
That's nice.
Again, listen to the amounts she's saying she's getting.
Did I tell her to refresh her Cash App?
Refresh your Cash App. Can you refresh it?
Okay. Now there was an item that gave me 25 and then requested it back. But that was it.
Oh. She said that there was an autumn that gave $25 and requested it back.
Once again, they don't show proof of any of this.
Wow. She just showed me her activity.
Yeah, she showed me.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
They will not show proof of the refunds, but yet she will show proof that she didn't get a donation.
Maybe if she screenshot it, then you can see.
Yeah, can you screenshot it?
Leticia even suggests that the girl screenshot the transaction so she can see it.
Anything everybody ever gave to me for Leticia, I screenshot it when I got it, sent it to Leticia, and went like this. I never kept a penny for myself.
We all know how she shares her proof really quick flashes to the. We also know that people have asked her for refunds of their donations and she declined them.
No, that's it. That's all it is. All donations are final. Yeah, Miss Leticia stopped giving back the donations. There's nothing really left to give back.
But what's still strange is that she's given over $4,000 in donations, and we know she's collected way more than that, but yet none of these people have been refunded.
You can prove everything.
Yes.
I know you can. So, listen, I know that they're trying to act like
act like total pigs about it.
And I've been nothing but respectful to Leticia.
Show the photo of the Cash App, please. Of this. This is it. This is the last thing that she's got. That's it. Someone posted the wrong email.
I constantly posted the wrong information.
Okay, y'all, I gotta go back in.
All right. Well,
thank you guys so much.
No problem. Well, hopefully more of this will get worked out. Please don't refund anyone else, please.
Yes.
All right. Have a good night.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Bye-bye, Leticia.
And Leticia has to go back to work, and Molly says, don't refund anybody else. Let's hop back into the stream from September 1st. Now that you've seen a lot of the things that they have already stated in previous lives, we are just finishing off with August 8th. Let's go back to September 1st.
One said that they think, they don't know for sure, that Dre and KJ are communicating through a third party.
Absolutely not.
Of course, I cannot verify that, but I highly doubt that is even close.
So, for everyone who was asking for refunds, either shame on you or you have been lied to by Katie.
Shame on you for continuing to pass off misinformation and not providing accurate facts to your following.
Katie's not a good person. How nobody has seen that is unreal.
Big picture, this has nothing really to do with Katie at all.
They want to hurt this family so bad.
Actually, that's the furthest thing from the truth.
And then lie after lie after lie.
That there has been, but not from this side.
You're dealing with two habitual liars.
Pot, meat kettle.
All this dirtiness that you're doing on the internet is all going to come back to you. Dre, she's on a whole other level. And you want to know something? My conscience is clear.
A little self-reflection here, possibly.
And guess what? I'm tagging the police. I'm tagging whoever you think needs to know that I'm a scam artist, that Leticia's a scam artist. Fuck that. Bring them.
Leticia told me she contacted authorities.
Bring them. You're being lied to, all of you. You're being lied to.
You are being lied to, but it isn't by nonsense.
Trey, not for nothing, but are you benefiting off of your husband's tragedy? You are. You're getting tons of views, right? People are still working on you. You got a great bonus, right? From paparazzi, right? People are interested in you. People are watching, right?
And guess what else she has? She has 3 kids to support off of her own income right now through all of this.
Sometimes I say, I don't know what they're going to charge her on, but this is going to take some time. But you want to know something? I trust that lady. Why not?
To date, no charges have been filed on anyone involved in this story.
This is all over the place. And now, at this point, you're making it so that I'm never going to be able to help anyone or any families.
You have chose to stay involved.
So you're telling me that you don't care that Miss Leticia and Mr. Marvon Sr. had to resort to crowdfunding to see their son. Did you know that Miss Wynette spent basically everything she had in the bank by renting a car and traveling cross country?
Marvon Sr. and Wynette didn't resort to crowdfunding to see their son. They made arrangements and did it all on their own, way before social media involvement and way before the creators' involvement. That's why I've always said that his background or his situation currently isn't a big deal, except for it's just another thing that has been lied about in the bigger story. Leticia herself has been using that as leverage with people. Marvon is incarcerated, but that came from Leticia herself. Whether he's in a work release program or not, that was all started once again by Leticia Bias herself. Nobody else. And Wynette and Marvon were the ones to keep Leticia in the loop. All along, they were the ones to keep Leticia in the loop. So I can imagine Wynette is between a rock and a hard place.
Her own money, not
ours. Not ours.
Yeah.
They went out there before. And
finally, she corrects it because no, they didn't use crowdfunding.
But it's so easy to post blame, right? Oh, I get it. Let's ruin the credibility of Justin and Molly Golightly.
All have lost your credibility on your own. Nobody else.
Let's just ruin that and say, hey, it's a scam. And get people all worked up to what? Get us to back off? Hell no, I'm not backing off.
You had an opportunity to learn the facts. You chose not to.
I want to know. Why are you hiding? And why are you so quiet? It's just a little suspicious. That's all.
Probably trying to take care of her family, considering they're going through a hell of a lot right now.
Not even a private facility. Read the law. Oh, I now know where he is, and he's in a separate part.
Why would a YouTuber know where he's at and his own father not be able to find out that information? Isn't that weird to somebody else?
Why she doesn't want his family?
Is the laws for Arizona? Because we're in Georgia,
right,
and Savannah. So.
Yeah, it's in. Yeah, we got it for.
It's for Arizona.
Yeah, it's for Arizona. Yeah, he pulled it up and he was like, "Oh my God! All she's got to do is pull this, say this, and she'll get right in." I mean, at this point of where it's gotten, I believe she's gonna see him. I believe that
Oh, she
all
is.
three of them. Yeah, she's gonna see him.
You're gonna see him this time.
As far as the press, being that it's Saturday, we gotta wait. I gotta wait till Monday morning.
Yeah, we have the water stuff, and it's with the state Superior Court of Arizona. Do you have that? Because that's what we're looking at.
So if there was a legal binding agreement, this would first of all be filed, it would be certified and stamped, and it would have a case number. That case number would be in the system. You can search Arizona court records yourself and go find out that this has never been filed. Never at all.
I zoomed in. I'm not showing the whole thing.
Where she's got it.
Yeah, you have it. Then why are you lying?
Okay. So happened, my attorney was able to negotiate terms without going into a courthouse.
Right.
Again, back to Leticia's words herself on July 26th. Her attorney was able to work out an agreement with Dre, and she did not file any paperwork in court. That paperwork that they are showing you is the same packet that she would have gotten assistance with from the attorney to file. However, again, Leticia herself stated they didn't do that because she didn't want it to affect her visits, and nothing still has been filed. That's a huge problem at this point.
Why do you lie so much? You want us out of the picture? We can leave the picture.
That's a good question. Are you asking yourself that again, Molly?
Yeah, it says those who have nothing to hide, hide nothing.
Exactly. And I think I've been crystal clear. Bring those police over to my house. Hey, Molly Galeli, what's up? Are you doing a scam? Nope. Go ahead. Everything in my bank accounts I've earned.
And with that, we are going to end their stream from September 1st because you've seen all you need to. They stated that this is their proof that she has an attorney and that the money has been spent where it should be. Yet they brought up refunds. There is no proof that a single dime has been refunded to anyone whatsoever. They have shown proof of all sorts of things, nothing regarding money. There has been continual lies in this story, starting from I'm not the first or the only page to call out these lies. This was being done way before I got involved. Yet, I have just been kind of like the Chihuahua, the little ankle biter that just won't let it go. I have no connection to any of the creators in this. I just am sick and tired of watching Marvon's story be overshadowed by all of this bullshit. And every single bit of this could have been avoided. Dre was communicating with Leticia. Things were fine until Leticia was told something she didn't like. Then it got brought to social media. Then it blew up on social media. Then Leticia aligned herself with the very people that do hate Dre and would love to see Dre destroyed. Then she got involved with creators who are willing to look the other way at all costs so their pockets do not become empty. We've heard multiple stories about the retainer being $2,500. We've heard that it was $4,000. We've heard Leticia state that she paid $2,800 for phone calls, but not a single bit of proof has ever been shown to anybody that's asked for it. And these are people that have donated. They claim that $4,000 in refunds have been issued, but not a single person can account for a single refund. Hopefully this video you can see with your own eyes on the multiple different streams that they are not consistent with any of their stories. Everything has been a miscommunication of some sorts. And no, we are far from done. We are not stopping. We are not going anywhere. In fact, hopefully there will be a few new pages popping up to support this end of things, because the louder you get with denial and or more lies, the louder the truth will come, because nobody is stopping. This is about Marvon, so we are damned if we're going to let anybody continually disrespect him and his story. Thank you all for watching another one. I appreciate you all so much. If you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button on your way out, Sorry again, it was so long, but I hope that you were able to see the miscommunication that's been happening. A few minutes at the end of the stream for you guys to chit chat. Once again, Contessa over and out.